Well, let's start by just improving the frequency of the processor bus. That requires a very close coordination of the signaling that is leaving the processor going to the north bridge and leaving the north bridge going to the processor. How is any level of caching handled at the north bridge level? How is caching handled at the processor level? How is interface to memory handled? All those things become one continuity and have to be designed as one complete design task. Even the motherboard design, even the traces on the motherboard and how they have to be designed in order to deliver this performance is a very careful task. So it becomes that entire design of the process becomes one continuity. And this is exploding outwards from the processor to all the pieces of the puzzle that are its nearest neighbors. Well, these are very major trends, almost mega trends, that are having a huge impact on how the evolution is happening inside what is called a personal computer and the microprocessor that powers the personal computer and the pieces of system logic that go inside the personal computer. In that sense, the system, what you may call the system, is no longer contained within the box that we call the personal computer. The system now represents not just the personal computer, but the personal computer in conjunction with the connectivity, whether in the corporate environment it's through Ethernet or in a consumer environment it's through a modem link. As this is happening, you are also seeing also a migration and a revolution happening in the content. The content is becoming what is called multimedia rich. And the most impactful aspect of multimedia richness is the richness in graphical content, because that has very significant impact on the design of the processor, on the design of the system logic, of other building blocks, on the mutual impact and co-design aspects of the processor and the system logic and the graphic subsystem. Standards are emerging, newer chips are coming. There's a continuous revolution that is trying to address the accessing of the content, the displaying of the content, the processing and computing of the content. The changes have to happen at the platform level and the system level. When graphical display became more and more important, and it went from two-dimensional objects being displayed to three-dimensional objects being displayed, we saw that the existing subsystem inside a PC was insufficient. That was one of the driving forces behind the definition of what became the AGP standard. The AGP standard, of course, creates new bottlenecks in the interaction between where the AGP is connected, which is in the north bridge of the system logic, and its connection with the processor and its connection with the memory subsystem. All those elements are also now being enhanced. Additionally, if the processing of the graphics data in the processor itself and the interaction of that graphical data with video content in MMX is accelerated, all that places greater pressure also in the communication between the processor, the north bridge, the memory, and the graphic controller or the rendering engine sitting on AGP.